400 breakouts. I kid you not. I think there are a significant number of opportunities. So you guys, it's in Vegas. It's going to be a really great event. And I think for those of us that can commit to it this year, it's going to be an opportunity for us to get something that that really we haven't done as a company before. We've usually had speakers come in that were us. Ed Milet was one of the first that they did last year that really started to change that. And now we're definitely committed to a high level and a opportunity to bring these in. So guys, if you haven't thought about it yet, if you haven't thought about family reunion, come and talk to us. I think it's going to be incredible. If you've never done it before, if you've done it, get recommitted, come back to us. It's in Vegas. It's at Mandalay Bay. You're going to want some warm weather after the oppressive cold that has moved in upon us. So that's all I got for y'all. Again, if you just got here, grab pancakes in the back. Go ahead.
I was just going to say too, early bird pricing is going to expire on January 23rd. So if you are on the fence about if you're wanting to go, if you should go, definitely talk to us on leadership, see how we can make it work for you. Again, that pricing is going to go up January 23rd. It should go up, I think, $100. So definitely, if you're interested, just reach out and I will send the registration link out to everyone again today. Family reunion.
All right, what is next? He's still cooking. Yeah, we'll come back to our boy. All right, yeah, let's talk a little bit about this. How many of you have come to see our speaker Carla so far? Wonderful. I'd love to see a couple other hands go up. Here's what I found in this. She delivers a really good directive in this, is really good at helping us understand what 7 levels in. Even more so, the activities that she's having us do with consistency are going incredibly well. So what I'd ask for you is come check this out. We started the 7 levels deep dive. That's the first portion of this. The second level goes into time blocking. She's going to be with us sharing her success and the activities that she's committed to the rest of the year. So if you think, oh, I didn't get in right away. Last week, we had a couple of new people show up, or people who hadn't come to the previous week, and their takeaway value from it was just as good as the week before. So you guys, this is Thursdays, 1 o'clock, correct? Thursdays at 1 o'clock in this room. I promise you, no matter where you step into this, there's going to be value that you can implement immediately. She gave away a takeaway last week that I'm going to share with you guys that I think is really important. And the way she articulated it was incredible. So how often do you get somebody that comes to you and says, you know, I'll just use Isaac. Hey, Isaac, so good to see you, man. How are you? Great. Ask me. One exception, my dude. He's got it. The idea is that it's a frequency change, and I say, when we communicate with people, oftentimes we have the same frequency that, hey, how's life? Oh, things are good. And we're like, well, what else do you say now? Right? Things are good. Oh, that's good. Good pivot to that is, how are things going? And then, you know, if they ask you, one exception. Things are great, Isaac, with one exception. That gives you the opportunity to identify in that moment what it is you need in order for it to be perfect. And it's not that you're asking necessarily from this person, right? So how I've implemented this in the conversations I've had is somebody said, yeah, how are you? I'm great with one exception. We need more listings in my business. I need more listings. You know, anybody? And they go, oh, what does that look? Well, what do you mean? There's no inventory. Oh, I need homes to sell. It's concise. I'm asking for what I need right away. And it's in a way that's it's not abrasive. It's not like I'm coming to Chad and saying, Chad, I need you to give me somebody that's looking to buy, sell, or invest. I'm telling you a problem that I have, and that problem is there are far too few listings, right? And so in that moment, that person wants to help me. Go ahead, Steve. Mm-hmm. One exception. It stops us from our regular routine, right? The regular routine is what I said. How are things? Good. How are things? Good. Okay, now what? Well, they're great, with one exception. I need more listings, with one exception. I'm looking for a great home inspector. There's one in the room. I have it's great, except, and the idea is that moment gives you an opportunity to identify how that person could help you without absolutely, straddling them with whatever that is, right? Having them have to carry that. No, everything's great, man. I'm just looking for more people I could help. With one exception, I need more people to help. So that is one thing that we learned that I implemented right away that had an immediate opportunity. And I talked to other agents, our agents, everything's good, except I need more agents that I can talk to about the possibilities and opportunities that Keller Williams can bring to their business, right? Everything is great with one exception. I am not going to hit my goal this week at the number of agents that I'm supposed to be talking to. And the person I'm talking to often says, well, what can I do to help? Who do you know that's in real estate that I could talk to? Who do you know that you could refer me to? Real estate that I could talk to. Same thing goes for you guys, right? What is it that you're needing that you can accept? Everything is good except this, that you could pivot to. Think about that in your response. When you start to change the way that you respond and you're more purposeful, the outcome becomes more purposeful. The outcomes becomes more successful, right? Because we have a tendency to just have programming that just happens. How are things? Things are good, even though they might not be good, right? So think about that when you start to respond to people. That's what we learned. There's going to be a lot of those nuggets shared in the 7 levels classes throughout the year. So come to as many as you can. It is free to you, Steve. We do. Yeah. Second best, see Steve for a book and show up. We're not Zooming these. Carla, the speaker, believes that this is best taught in person, and so that we can conversate. Lisa, you've been in the class. What'd you think? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. She's so good. I'm sometimes afraid she's going to take my job. The second time in our career together. Yes. Yeah, he's going to be live in here. He won't be in person, but he'll be live. And if you've never heard him speak before, he's an energetic, gregarious guy, and I don't know that he has anybody that doesn't like him because he's really a great guy. I've had the opportunity to meet him in person a few times. We had him here in the Twin Cities, Mark, 10 years ago, 12 years ago. We had him here live and in person. The company we worked for at the time used that as a engagement tool. So thank you for that. Come and check us out Thursday at 1 o'clock. Yeah, Mark, we're going to invite you to come up here, brother. Grab that from Jordy. Mark, thank you so much, brother, for pancakes with Pillar this morning. We appreciate you.
Is this on? Yep. Okay. I felt bad because last time I spoke, I forgot breakfast, so I had to take it to the next level. So, and it's cold out there, so good pancakes. Hey, real quick, I'm going to talk about one thing we got coming up. So, the idea that what we talked about, Pillar and I want to go to the next level. So we're not going to just stand up here and talk about, hey, Pillar's great, and so am I, and just use us. That's crap. Hey, I don't want to sell to you. What I want to do is bring value to you agents. That's what Pillar wants to do. I want to bring value to you. So we have partnered with Heartland. We're going to bring 2 classes, one in March, or one in February, one in March. We're free CE. It's going to be at the Shoreview Community Center. And the first one is Thursday, February 8th from 10 to 12. I have flyers. I can email this out. And you just scan that little QR code. That'll bring you right to all the information, who the instructor is, what the class is about. And then you can sign up for it. And there'll be coffee and bagels and stuff in the morning, and then to after. So the class actually is an hour and a half long, and then from 11:30 to 12 is pizza and mingling and all that kind of stuff. So we need a great class, and Shoreview Community Center it's a great place to have it at. So that's that. And then what else did I say? I don't even remember what I sent you, Sean. I don't remember. Oh yeah, So thank you. I'm also on the board for the Charitable Foundation at Spire. So if you, being a realtor, you have kids or if you have grandkids that are going to school, they can fill out an application at Spire and get $2,000 in a scholarship school. It doesn't have to be 4-year scholarship, 4-year college. It can be grade school. It can be going for their master's. Doesn't matter. So go on their website, fill it out, and they get $2,000. Great. And so they take all these scholarships that come in and they go through them as a foundation and we read through them. And I think we gave away, I don't remember, like 12 or 15 scholarships last year. It's an incredible thing. Oh, take advantage of that. That's very cool. So that's it. That's all I got today. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you. There we go. No, it was just me. It was user error. Big surprise. I'm sure you guys are surprised about that. Okay, so we kick this off today to an packed house of people. Right, Darius? Wall to wall, you guys. I'm so exhausted from all the energy that, I suck. No. So here's what we're going to do. And I'm going to leave it up to you guys. I think what we're going to do is we're going to pivot this because there's a lot going on, 7 levels. There's a lot of things coming up. We're going to pivot this to more of an online discussion, but we're going to use the MREA that is being taught at KWRI that's available to us. We just hadn't sent it out because we wanted to make this about me. And since you guys didn't want to make it about me, now we got to make it about you. And so we're going to pivot this to an online discussion on Friday mornings. What we're going to do is use KWRI and use their sessions because it's being taught by far smarter people than me. And then we're going to talk about it. I have a layout on what they're going to do. We're just going to talk about what it means for your business. Today, one of the things that we talked about, was just kind of the idea of how do you relate to success? What is your goal for 2024? What is going to help you achieve your goal? What is going to prevent you from achieving your goal? The 4 basic models for us, the 4 fundamental models for real estate. And then which model do you think will benefit you the most? So we're going to talk a little bit about that again next week as we get into this, but we're going to pivot this to online on Friday mornings. Sean, we have some work to do that. We're going to spend 30 minutes on Friday mornings having this conversation so that we can say, how does this play out in your business for Valerian? How does this lay out for CML Group, right? How does this roll out for Martha? How are we going to implement these things? So look for that, you guys. We appreciate your ability to be malleable to this change just because I want to make it the most impactful. Well, I appreciate hanging out with Darius this morning. Yeah, and I'm going to lead it via Zoom just so that nobody has to jump out of bed and be here. You can turn on as long as you're participating. I don't care if your camera's on, because some people don't want to be seen in the morning, right? About that life. Holy, here we go. We did this last year, guys. It was super cool. So Jordy, kick it off.
Okay, you guys. So we are doing our 2nd annual Share the Love food drive. Woo! Thank you. Thank you for all the excitement. So we did this last year with Keystone Community Services, and we actually raised over 861 or donated over 861 pounds of food with this food drive last year. So the goal is to surpass that this year. Steve was there when we did the drop off last year. It was awesome. And so we have these flyers that Sean is able to brand to you. And so you can use these on social media or for door knocking. We had a lot of agents that did door knocking last year. They did door knocking last year. And so we have cub bags in the back storage room if that's something you're interested in doing. And so you can put on there that you're going to be doing a porch pickup. Otherwise, we will have a drop-off spot at the front of the office as well. And so this is going to start today, and then we'll run it through February 12th, which is a Monday. And so we'll do the drop-off on Tuesday, the 13th. So if you're interested, definitely reach out to me or Sean. We'll get this posted out on our social media as well, but let's share the love this Valentine's Day and get some great donations to Keystone. Moving on. So we have our CE Blitz coming back. I've had a lot of questions about this in the last few weeks. This is going to be February 6th and 7th. So here in the Market Center, that's a Tuesday and Wednesday. And it's going to be similar to last year's where you'll have the 15 hours of CE. And so it's going to be split up into 2 days, 7.5 hours per day. And it'll be $50 per day. Since some people have already completed the required module, we had some questions about, hey, can I sign up for one, not both? So we are doing it as $50 per day, lunch included. And so they'll upload all your credits to Pulse Portal and get that all taken care of on their end. So day one will be negotiations 101 and the new normal, marijuana in real estate. I've heard that. I've heard that class is very popular this year since it's brand new. And then day two will be the required module, Fair Housing Agency and Legal Update. And then we'll have an offers to purchase class that's 3.75 hours as well. So we will have that link's already gone out, right, Sean? Yes, link's gone out. If you are a KWIR agent, then you will just be invoiced for the amount of the days that you attend. If you have outside friends from other brokerages, we'd love to have them come in. This is open to everyone. We just ask that they bring a check made out to Keller Williams Integrity Realty on the day of the event. So definitely let me know if you have any questions. We're super excited. This was a big hit last year. But yeah, awesome CE in person here. Mike Brennan, Karen Collins will be in the building. Great CE teachers. So definitely take advantage.
You guys to have Karen as a part of our group and to be able to offer this. Thank you for putting it together. I think it's going to be a great day. And you get all of your CE done
It's the
in
15 required.
done. So check it out. And you get to learn about things that are pertinent right now. Like weed and real estate. Somebody asked me the other day about what. There's a lot, right? Blunt objection. No, I mean, you're just spitballing. What's this going to be like? Just trying to get an idea, right? Marijuana and real estate. It is an interesting time that we live in. Somebody the other day had come into my office and asked if they had encountered a grow room, what they should do. And I go, I don't know, ask if you can have a sample. Yeah. No, they had come into it and they said, is that legal? I said, it is legal now to grow your own plants, up to 8, I think, in the state of Minnesota. And what you should do is mind your business. That's what you should do about that. But no, the question is what should I be concerned with and in those situations? And a lot of it has to do with the moisture related to having marijuana in the house, and growing marijuana plants take a lot of water to do that. And so oftentimes in homes that have had grow rooms, you find mold and stuff like that. That's what they're going to be getting at, is how to know it, how to remediate, not remitigate. It's a different word. It's a different word, you guys. All right, so I'm going to pivot here really quickly, but our industry is one that is loosely held together by volunteers doing activities. And oftentimes volunteers at a high level don't get recognized, right? The people who put a lot of hours in and a lot of intentional with the desire and the intention to help other people grow, to create models and systems so that other people can find success, to donate your time, to donate your money, to donate your resources, to be a part of this. This last year, why I bring this up is we have somebody in the room today that achieved something that is incredibly special, but not because she set out to do it because she was doing it for her. Everything that she's done in her business has been specific to the development, the engagement of communities that may not have always been looked at with the same level of opportunity. And so we want help me in welcoming or in congratulating Guy for being named Agent of the Year at SPAR. Yeah, and it even matches your jacket today. So thank you so much. Here, I'll take that. We'll just put it up here for now. So DJ, come here once if you would. And just I did not prep her for this at all, you guys. We just had her be here. So first of all, congratulations again. Well deserved, well earned. Tell us what that looks like in the last year, all the things that you did, all the things you participated and volunteered for. And so that we can understand a little bit of how hard you worked for us last year.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for doing this. The celebration was Monday, Tuesday?
Yeah.
I don't know what day it was, but that was a surprise too, because assuming there was a lot of people who sent nominations for many things. So SPAR, MAR, or MENAR, they do these awards to people who is involved, do things like nobody else is doing, and all that stuff. I was nominated for the Minnesota Realtors for the state, and I didn't win, but that's okay. Just to see the name, it is so feeling good. But I didn't do this for the award. It was coming to the real estate, looking the necessities in the communities. I used to work in schools, but I was only the third person that speaks Spanish, and we help a lot of people in the Latino community looking documents, insurance, medical, housing, and a lot of things that I see and I saw in the papers was a lot of money going back and forth. And that was like, oh, this is real estate? And I didn't understand why. Checks, personal checks, cash, and all the stories that people tell you, and you can believe it. Because it's impossible that this happening in right now, you know, when people can open the computer and ask for questions, it's still happening. So when I decided to go to real estate, my main thing was, after learning how to do real estate, how to write contracts, how to read all that stuff, in my mind has to be something else. Who we pay these dues? Who we report? Who is doing all these regulations? That's how I started. That's how I started looking more than just going to the meetings in my office and being sitting and trying to get clients. Because honestly, there are some office and just tell you, go, 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 go. Transactions, transactions, transactions. They didn't tell you how to grow your business personally. Now, if somebody asks me, what do you do? And I say, I have a profession in real estate. I build the profession, sell homes, I buy homes, but I define that as a profession. That's how I like to see myself, because I left one career, start another one. I don't left my career, just sold properties. But asking me all those questions, I start going to the meetings involving, and I know who to talk to about the issues. And the last 3 years has been kind of working with the governmental affairs people, bringing the IT issues that is in my community, in the Somali community. And now we start seeing more and more issues in the contracts for deeds. In my understanding, they are not bad, just the way how we use it, that's the way it's not okay. So all those things that I see in the community, I start bringing it up to the right people. That's how I think I was noticeable more, because I start asking how we can change this, how we can do this. And they start listening because they didn't have a clue. Imagine being in a governmental affairs committee in the state, a room full of like this, with people more than 30, 40 years in the business, and they didn't have a clue what the item was. And I'm like, wow. So when somebody pushed me, like always, pushing me to speak, they say, Guille, you have to say it, you have to say it. I was so scared, and I bring the issue, and everybody start talking. What is that? What does that mean? I feel like I was so red, not red because I can be red, I'm purple. Honestly, it was like, oh my goodness, my face was almost to explode. But at the same time, I realized that nobody talked to them about the issues outside. And it is so uncomfortable being in those meetings where sometimes I have to repeat myself. English is not my first language. But one thing that I learned a long time ago, somebody told me, I was in a meeting talking with somebody then speak fluent English. So I was say this, I was talking all the time. So when we finished the meeting, that was a lady who said, come here. And I was like, oh boy. And she was mixed. I don't know,
Yeah.
she just called me. I said, look at me. And I say, okay, I'm so sorry. I was loud. She said, no, it was okay. Let me tell you something. You may speak with an accent, but you don't think with one. And left. For me, that was a change. That was like, I can speak. If you don't understand me, ask me.
Mhm.
And I will repeat myself many times. I don't care anymore. But he told me one thing, then I have to remember for life.
Mhm.
Because coming here as an adult, learning the language, going to rooms where people, sometimes they don't understand me, and that's okay. But that lady made me think, now, then I have something to say. Somebody don't understand, they can ask me again.
Mhm.
So that's how I've been working, governmental affairs, something, there's a committee that is so uncomfortable for me. I have to learn more vocabulary. I have to be aware what people think, how they think, and knowing who I need to bring the issues, who is gonna understand the issues that we have, the community.
Mhm.
Besides that, I try to go as much as events as I can. Now I'm getting smart in how to choose the ones that I need to be. But in the beginning, it's just going until I get to the room and I know most of the people that is there. And now I know who is working, who just go for the picture. I love them, but I hate them in the same way. So if you are there for the picture, go do it outside. If you come in here to make a change, to make this industry better, sit down and listen. Guarantee you're gonna get your time to speak up, or somebody's gonna push you to do the right thing. That's what a lot of people around me has been helping me, pushing me in the right moment, in the right way to speak up and do the things that I can do. NAREB, governmental affairs, Women's Council, is because success, because the people is around me. I don't do all the stuff. I like people to do, to be part of those teams, because I know they are great too. I mean, everything that is big is because the team is big, not just the person who started, bring it up. For me, it's so important. And until now, I can tell you, all the people who pass by NAREB, I still respect them a lot. Even the ones who went for the picture, I love them because they help us. They help us to build something. And now with Women's Council, it's the same. It is just a brains over there. There is people who do things for us and for everybody who is around.
Yeah.
So I show up do the right things. And if you think it's the right thing, it's gonna be the right
It's going
thing.
to be the right thing. Hold your applause for a minute because I want to say this is there's a few things that I want to make sure that you know about what Gije's done is her commitment to other people, right? Her commitment to advocacy. So I can tell you why. So Gije now sits on the St. Paul Board of Realtors for the association. She's now a board of directors member. And a lot of you don't, please take this with a grain of salt. A lot of you don't understand that your ability to do real estate isn't based on the fact that there's a KW on the outside of the door. That's important to your business. Your ability to do business the way you do business currently today is directly a derivative of people like Gije participating at SPAR, at MAR, at the Minnesota Realtors on a national level. And while there might not always be a whole lot of respect for our associations, the code of ethics is what has allowed us to get to this place and has allowed our industry to do what we do. For those of you who might question this and about our participation at SPAR and MAR and the Minnesota Association, when COVID came around, the reason that you were a protected group, that you could go to work, was directly related to all the work we've done with our legislative directors here in the Twin Cities and throughout the country that allowed you to go back to work right away. You guys, that happened within 24 hours. Realtors were taken off of list where we were not going to be able to be in business. Second, a couple of years ago, the I won't say the party who did this, they're a taxing party. You can choose whatever you believe about that. They wanted to tax you, sales and service, 6% on your job, 6% on every transaction the state of Minnesota wanted to take from you. You know why it didn't happen? Because of people like Gije, because of the board at SPAR, because of the board at MAR, because of the board at the Minnesota Realtors. So when people say, why do I pay this? You might not understand why you pay it, but I promise you it goes to good service for people like Gije to get involved and stay active. Secondly, I wanted to say this about Gije specifically and a few other people in this room. Advocacy for a group of people that didn't have a voice before has led to an explosion in Latino home ownership, has it not? Because of people like you who know you have a voice and know you are willing to step up and help. Gije also launched this last year, relaunched the Women Council of Realtor for the Twin Cities. Why? Because I've said this before in this room, 66% of real estate agents identify as female. To think about that for a minute. I did it. I was like, yay, DEI works for me. And only 18% end up in leadership positions. So the idea behind WCR is to create women, female leaders in our business that are no longer afraid to speak up. And so thank you, Gije, for all you do, for all you've done. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
And for those of you who would like to know, that beautiful bouquet was put together by Mao Lore. If you guys haven't used Mao for some of her stuff, she had also given away to Carrie a beautiful bouquet when Carrie left. So you guys check that out, check her out, but thank you again. All right. One of the biggest places for frustration for consumers is in your net sheet. How many of you feel comfortable with your net sheet delivery? Okay, I love that. If you're not comfortable, this is going to be a great class. Even if you are, I think Lynn does a very, very good job of exacting how the average agent is going to use things. This is a really great opportunity for you to get your net sheets right. When I looked at the ethics complaints from last year, 1/3 of them related to net sheet or to balance sheets, what the consumer was getting and what they didn't get or what they thought they should get. So check this out, you guys. I think it'll be fantastic. Be about that today at 11. Database, building your database. So I want to say this about what Marty's done. I've had a couple of agents that have come to me so far and already said that their time with Marty was fantastic. That Marty has a really good ability to simplify what seems difficult and help implement immediately. If you have not set a time to meet with Marty, take this class on the 24th. I promise you, this class alone, if you do not have your database yet, I gotta take a breath. If you don't have your database yet, guys, number one indication for an agent's ability to be successful is their willingness to do the one thing that most don't. This is one of those things. If you don't have a database, if you're not working in command, if you don't have a CRM that you feel comfortable in, and you skip this class, then I would ask what you're going to do with your business. And it's that simple, you guys, is that Marty is really, really gifted at what he does, and he can make this simple so that you can take on 24 with some passion, and you can simplify the one thing that most of us don't do. Your database allows you to be in two places at once. One, wherever you personally are, whoever you're talking to, and two, all the activities that are happening over here. About this course, guys, come check it out and reach out to Marty if you haven't already. Introduce yourself. I think he's one of the smartest guys that I know in our business. We have access to him. So, okay, what's going on? One of the things we talked about today, and I mentioned a little bit, and I've talked about this as kind of a reoccurring conversation. I've been spending a lot of time in the last week on motivation, on finding where people are and identifying what you want, but in a way that's much more tangible, right? And so the conversation I have for you is there's three questions that I want you to answer to yourself. And then we're going to move in to where the funnel works. And we're going to drive the funnel conversation as the number one intention for this year for most of our businesses. So the first is pretty simple. Some of you might already have this. You might have done a business plan. You might not. What is your goal for 24? What is your goal? If you haven't written it down yet, if you haven't articulated, it's not in your brain. It's not achievable if you don't have it in your brain. So number one, what is your goal for 24? It can be both personal and professional. You can go back to talking about using a 411, to talking the 30-60-90 and some other tools that we can use. But first and foremost, what is your goal for 24? Second, what is going to help you achieve that goal in 24? Now, this could be consistency. That could be your word, right? What's going to help you achieve this consistency, which is not as tangible as, say, leads, right? Each of us is going to have a different response to that. What do you need to do in order to achieve what you're going to achieve? What do you need this year? What is going to help you be successful? Secondly, and arguably for me, probably more pressing for most, is what will prevent you from achieving your goal in 24? What will prevent you from from hitting your goal, from achieving your goal in year? Steve, say it. Discipline, consistency, no accountability, no plan, no goal, passion. This is a simple business, but not easy. If you set a goal, I went over this last week, so I apologize. My redundancy isn't by mistake. This is my favorite conversation right now. It's the thing that I have learned so much about the agent's businesses, but it brings so much clarity, right? So here's the deal. What are the inputs in your funnel? This is your sales funnel. How many inputs in your funnel do you think you can work with? And pull back. We'll get there. Your funnel is an important part of your business. But for me, this was the exercise that made it understandable to me. All the other things I've heard or been a part of, I couldn't see how they work together. If my goal is 24 deals this year. Okay, 24 and 24, you're going to hear that a lot from me. Lynn is here. Hey. We just talked about your class. If you're going to be successful in 24, you have to ask yourself, where is your business coming from? Now, most of us have that conversation, but it's muted. It's never really fully articulated because you're like, well, it's going to come from hard work and determination. Yeah, maybe. Yes, and the and is you have to have a plan. So if I know that most of my business, because we know this, is going to come from my sphere, let's say I'm going to get 12 deals from my sphere this year. Okay. I was going to get 12. Sorry, y'all. Excuse me. If I was going to do 12 from my sphere, what would be the activities that I would need to work through? Hey, brother. See ya. If I was going to get 12 from that, what would I need to do? Right? Well, I'd need to use smart plans. Don, what is a smart plan? Still in here? There you go. What is a smart plan? So there's already ones in the system. Weird how that works, right? So if I want to engage my database of people who know me, like me, and trust me already, right? I'm going to do a smart plan, and that smart plan is going to include contact, could be phone calls or in-person events. For me to be committed to this, right? For that 12, these are the things that are going to be happening in here. I can control this, you guys. This is what we always get caught up in, is I can control that activity. Can I not? So why would I not hit that? Why would I not hit that? Any idea? Why? If I knew that all I needed to do was have my entire sphere in my database, and then I was using a smart plan, and I know that we won't get into that. I know that my smart plan works and it's actively running already, right? It's 12 deals from that. If you don't have 12 deals, we can teach you how to put more in there. This is the start of it. Okay. So then I'm going to do open houses. Open houses. Okay. So how many deals do I think I can get from an open house this year? Well, my goal is 24. So I think that I can do 6 from open houses. Now the question becomes, what are the activities that make an open house that will get me a deal? Somebody who needs something from me, right? So I know that my activities for this are preparation. We're knocking the neighborhood. Right? I'm going to use 40 open house signs. Right? I'm going to have, go ahead, what? Social media posts, right? Again, you guys, these are all manageable. Then the question is how many open houses do I need? Now this is variable, right? This is variable because it's going to depend on the house, it's going to depend on the area, and it's going to depend on you. Do I believe that I can get 6 deals from open houses? Yes, I do. How many open houses do I think I would need to do that? I think I can get 6 deals from 6 open houses. That'd be awesome. My experience would say no. My experience would say I might need to do 12 or 18 open houses. So then I say, okay, I know I need to do 18 open houses. I know that I need to front load this. Front load means I need to do it earlier in the year as opposed to later, because if I'm doing open houses in December of next year, are those sales, are those activities going to represent in my numbers for 24? Absolutely not. So in order for you to count it, you have to have almost everything in by you have to have the deal locked in, ready to go the first or second week of November, right? Okay. Now you know that. So I'm going to do 18 open houses and I'm going to front end load them. So I'm going to do 8 to 10 right away this quarter, another couple, and I'm going to start to see what that looks like. Then I'm going to determine in that, is 18 enough? Or maybe 18 is too many. Now, if 18, and I say too many not to get you to quit, but 18 is that your results are better, right? But don't quit. If you get to 18 and you're having success with that, be about that. Keep doing that. Because if you get good at it, and like I talked about this morning, and I've talked about here the previous 2 weeks, is Carrie Schmitz, right? Is her ability to do it. And the way she does it has resulted in a massive influx of business for her. So be purposeful about this. If you have questions, I don't have one in here. Steve, you did. If you guys have a question about this, you have a question about this. I have this book. Some of you have given you one. But more importantly, I have one in my office, not that you can have because I only have one left. And Rachel says I can't buy more because I just give things away like it's my money I'm spending. He hasn't said it yet, but I feel like it's coming. No. There's a portion in here that you guys should grab for open houses. If you've never done an open house, there are 4 plans in here, and these plans are based entirely off of people who have absolutely smashed this activity and found success doing it. If you don't know how to do an open house, there are 4 plans in here. You pick one and start to use that plan. Don't deviate from it either. I had an agent the other day talk to me about holding an open house this past weekend, and he called me on Thursday afternoon to ask me what I thought he should do. And I said, stay home because you're wasting your time. You can't start with a good open house on Thursday before a Saturday open house. It's impossible. All you're doing is wasting your time and the seller's time, who's going to leave their house for you to be in it, and it's not valuable. Do this on a system. I know I need 18. Start looking at who has open houses. Who has homes on the market right now that has an open house? Who has homes on the market right now that you would be willing to have an open house? Okay, 1 or 2 of us. So we need to get a few more of those, or you guys are already holding your own open houses, and here's to that. Right? All right. So what is my third line of business? My third line of business is I'm going to do 3 deals from buyer and seller seminars, right? What are the activities? What are the activities of a good buyer or seller seminar? If I need to get 3 people from that, I think I probably have to hold at least 2, possibly more, but I think 2. Then I can learn how to promote them, how to leverage them by bringing in title, mortgage, inspectors, insurance, right? So I have the conversation there. But again, you guys, this is simple. Front end loading this means if I want to get 3 deals out of this, then I need to start holding them immediately, getting people prepped. Because what do we know about home buyer and home seller seminars? Move to transaction is longer. Why? Because they're not as familiar with it. So you need to get it moving. So if buyer and seller seminars were a part of what I do, I would start doing them right now so that I can start building that part of my funnel. Okay. Number 3, or the last one, number 3 number 4, 3 more transactions from that. Now, sorry, I swear to God, I'm not sick. I swear. Okay, so what's another one here? Charitable involvement. Maybe that's what I want to do. What other things for this last section could I do? Charitable, Steve, go ahead. Community involvement, perfect. So community charity work here, right? You could do that. Can I get 3 deals from that? Absolutely. What do you got to do to get involved in that, right? If I want to get involved in the community, for instance, our Realtor of the Year, Guijay participates with the city of Bloomington in their, what is it called? She's doing something to have advocacy to help the police department have better relationships with their community, right? So not only is she meeting people from the police department, she's meeting people from the community. She's meeting business owners, all of whom who want to see a better engagement, right? So there's that. There's charitable. We're doing some stuff here, the food drive. One of the things that we can do is you can take and use Sean's social media posts, but also take a flyer, staple it to the bag and hang it on a door handle in the neighborhoods that you want to door knock, right? What if this was door knocking? because I like door knocking and I love talking about it because people hate it when I talk about it. So we're going to keep talking about it. If I wanted to get 3 deals from door knocking, how many houses do I have to knock? How long does that take me? How many does it lead to a conversion? Right? You can only get there by doing the activity. My point in this, you guys, in order to hit your goal, if you've never had a plan before, start with a funnel. It's an easy way for you to identify and visualize. If I get 12 deals from here and 6 deals from here and 3 deals from here and 3 deals from here, that's 24 deals. That's manageable. I have to do math. It's like, is that really 24? It is. So you guys, my point is that most of the time when an agent says, I don't know how to get there, it's because they don't actually have a goal in mind. They don't actually have an idea of what they want to achieve in mind. All they have is a number. I want to achieve 24. Okay, great. How do you get to 24? I had a conversation with Darius earlier about discipline and activities and what we're doing, what we're committed to. If this is all you did and you could get to 24, for those of you who have not yet been to 24, this is the simplest, easiest way to do it. I would argue that whether it's 6, 12, 24, 36, or 156, this is the way to get there. It's very, very specific. And then we go back to the MREA playbook or back to the MREA book itself, and we say, okay, does this align with the activities that I've been told to do, and can I track them? So guys, that's where I really want you guys to focus is I should be able to ask any of you at any time, what does your funnel look like? Where are your activities? How many people connected with this week? How many people have you added to your database this week? Tangible activities that lead to tangible results. Things that you know you can do time after time after time without feeling overwhelmed, right? The number one response to me when I talk to agents about why they're not successful is because they don't know where to start. Start with building your funnel. Once you understand what your funnel looks like, you can understand how to pivot and change activities. Now, in 24, I'm going to commit to these 4 pillars of my business or 4 pillars of my funnel, right? I'm not going to pivot somewhere in the middle of the year unless I have an overwhelming reason to. Because oftentimes what happens, agents get started and then they'll come back to me and say, no, now I'm going to buy leads. Okay. This lead's going to take. It's going to do the same thing. You got to be prepared for it, right? You can't pivot without something to pivot to that shows you a better success rate. Otherwise, stay on task, do the activities the way they are. And what you'll find is that by the end of the year, if you did these activities with consistency and that's all you focused on, we've built in a fluff margin, which results in higher, oftentimes a higher return, right? So what is it? Aim for the stars and you land on the moon, which is an alien base. And no, I'm just kidding. The world is flat, right? You could argue. So let me ask you guys for some feedback. How many of you are ready to go for 24 and feel like you have a system that makes sense? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right. For those of you that don't yet feel like you have this hand, do this. Let's talk about it. Let's get specific with what it is, what it looks like in your business, right? Because I'll tell you what, as long as we can identify the 4 things that you want to do in your business, and remember, they're the things that you want to do. What Guy does is different from what Isaac does, but their intention is the same, right? Their goal is different, but their activities oftentimes will look alike. We can take these 4 activities and say 12, 6, 3, 3. Great. Can you commit to these, Isaac? Yes. Great. What's going to prevent you from hitting that? And they look at you and they go, me? Yeah, that's it. Because you already have the plan. You already have the objective. You know what you're going to do. And if you miss it, it's because you didn't do one of the steps in here. You forgot, you quit, you let yourself down. Let's not let 24 be that year for any of us anymore. Let's let this year be a kick-ass year. You guys, thank you so much for being here today. DJ, once again, I want to give you a round of applause. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you. Like I say, always go kick some ass, go help some people, go change some lives. 7 levels. See Steve for the book. It's awesome. Let's make it happen, guys. Net Sheets with Lynn, starting in 15 minutes.